All right. Well, hey everybody, welcome. Dropping the gloves. Jason Demers on the show. Jason, what time is it there? What time?
I think it's 9:45,
So we've been trying to hook up now for the last 6 hours,
pretty much. I'd
maybe
say
more.
maybe 48 at this point.
So I'm just curious. Walk us through the last couple, like month even, because what have you been doing? Like honestly, have you trying to get into the NHL? Has that been your goal the last 3, 4 months? Like what's been going on?
So, I mean, not many people know this, but I mean, it's probably it'll come out eventually. But I mean, I had like I wasn't really getting any calls before the season in NHL, and that was the primary goal. And I ended up having something happen. I had to take care of. I ended up having back surgery.
No
So
kidding.
I had, yeah, so I didn't really tell anyone and had a lot of other changes in career wise. So I kind of just was rehabbing in Arizona and skating on my own at ASU and just trying to get healthy. And then probably about a month before the Channel One Cup in Moscow, I got a phone call from Team Canada and they said, "Hey, like, how's everything going?" And at that point, I was just kind of comfortable enough to be like, "Okay, like, I'm good to go," and like, attempt to play. And so I kind of told them the situation and said, I'm 100% or as close to. So they invited me out to the Channel One and said, "You'll play the Channel One Cup and then the Spangler Cup." So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that. Maybe this jump starts something to potentially getting me back into North America. We'll see. If not, I'm just going to go enjoy some hockey. And then I was kind of also looking at the how the league was dealing with COVID, and I said, well, I kind of don't think they're going to go into the Olympics. So I said potentially I could springboard myself to go into the Olympics as well and jump in on that team. So I went to the Channel One. I mean, played my first game in Moscow in 8 months against Russia. It was like the 75th anniversary of the Channel One. So the place was like rocking and they had like Larry Onoff was on the ice, Fedosov, all these guys. So it was like one of their biggest games in a while, and it's against Canada. So they were coming pretty hard, and it was just amazing how just kind of felt like my first game pro again. So, but got through that, and then after that, we're playing with a bunch of KHL guys there and guys from some Swedish leagues and great players and great guys. And they all asked me what I was doing. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on in the NHL and this and that. Um, so I ended up talking with some teams in the KHL and said, you know what? I'm going to just not going to wait around anymore. I'm just going to go play
Yeah.
somewhere. So I decided to go play with Akbars in Kazan for the season. And they were nice enough to offer me a deal and bring me over there. So we ended up going there for 5, 6 games, and then they called me for the Olympics, and I found out, a week ago, and I've been here. I literally flew to Zurich, and that's the short version of it, and the long one is just it's been a whirlwind of a year. It's been crazy, but I mean, it's I'm excited to be playing and being back competing and playing with this team we got here and these guys. It's been a lot of fun. So
What's I'm naive. What's Channel One? Why don't I know what that is?
So Channel One's like a tournament that Canada doesn't usually go in it, but I think because of the Olympics,
Yeah.
they jumped in. Like they used to go, and it's a tournament that they've never won. It's usually hosted in Russia, and it's like Russia, Finland, Sweden, Czech Republic, and I think we jumped in this year, kind of as like a backup plan in case the Olympics were going. They wanted to see guys and stuff like that. So
Okay.
um, and then the Spangler ended up getting canceled because of COVID. So it literally just I ended up going from there to Kazan and then played the games out there and literally now I'm here. So it's and we fly out to China in a couple days here.
That's insane. That's absolutely like crazy.
It's been nuts, man. Like especially coming from back surgery and being in Arizona, literally skating by myself 2.5 months ago to 3 months ago. I was skating by myself at the university practice facility, just doing down and backs and trying to
Wow.
get back to normal. Yeah, so it's
And
been
now you're going
wild.
to represent Canada in the Olympics
Yeah.
2022 in Beijing. What, like, at what point you're playing in the Channel One? You probably would have went to the Spengler Cup. At what point do you start hearing little whispers like, "Hey, man, the NHL is not going to go to Beijing. Like, we better like get prepped to go to China. This is going to be our time here."
Well, I was in Arizona last year, and I was kind of part of the. I was one of the guys that was on all the NHLPA calls for
Yeah,
for the past 2 years, and uh, part of those CBA talks. And I mean, I had a feeling the whole time. They don't. I mean, does Gary Bettman really want guys playing in the Olympics?
not a
I mean,
chance.
I think we could. I think the having them play in the NHL is more important for business, and you know that seems to me Olympics. Mainly for the NHL as a whole, like and playing in Kazan and the KHL, like they seem to relish in the fact that guys on their team get to go play in the Olympics, and especially like the leagues out here in Switzerland and all that. So it's a little bit different. Um, just the energy towards the Olympics in Europe compared to North America. So I mean, I just had a feeling, and then I was like, you know what? Worst case, I'm going to play. I'll get some exposure. If I end up going to Europe for the year and seeing what's next on the docket next year, that's fine. I'll get some games and I'll get 3-4 months of hockey in and stay fresh and competitive hockey as well. So I just decided to talk with my family and my girlfriend, and we were kind of like just came to the decision to take a crack at Europe and see what happens. And I mean, it worked out. So hindsight being 2020, it worked out pretty good.
So now you're in Zurich. Why go to Zurich? Like, what? I'm so confused. So Team Canada, like, is the whole team there? Are you guys just hanging out in the hotel, getting ready to go to Beijing? Like, why
Yeah,
Zurich?
we're with COVID protocols and stuff like that. We had to find a safe place to kind of, because I mean the main thing is getting over to China and
Yeah,
and keeping the team that they picked healthy. So we're in a bubble, and it's been really good. They've kept everything like separate, and it's been a really good setup. Like we're pretty well quarantined, and we're close to the rink here, so it's we have our own part of the hotel. It's been good. So, and it's just like getting all the guys together and getting some practices under our belt, and then just getting all the guys together. So it's been really good. They've done a great job here, and I mean, if Team Canada at all, like they spare no expense.
I
So,
don't.
well, you've heard about it. You've
Jason,
heard some
stop.
whispers. You've heard whispers. I mean, to be honest, I didn't know. So I was like, no, I'm like, oh yeah, well, they really don't spare any expenses. It is what you hear, and it's like, they just take care of the guys so well, and they treat us. They've been treating us great. So it's just like getting us all the testing requirements done so we can go to China, and then
Yeah. What is that like? Because there obviously is a reason the NHL players aren't going. They were a little uneasy, and it's I don't know if it's the players they want to go. It was the NHL. What do you know anything about? Just say you go to China and you test positive, what's going to happen to you? They just lock you up in the gulag, or like,
I mean, I don't. To be honest, I'm not. I'm not 100% sure that 5 week thing was something the NHL played at to get the
ah,
guys. But I mean, I don't listen. Who knows? Who knows what it is? I mean, we're only going to know once we get boots on the ground there, and but I mean, everything seems to be really. We have all our orientation stuff about the village, and everything's super safe there. There's nothing. There's going to be no surprises, and I mean, I guess it's. I don't think it's going to be as what they're saying. I mean, but who knows when we get there? We'll see. It's really one of those things. It's like we'll see, and I don't really want to say something like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be this way," and then I get in
yeah.
trouble. So.
Well, I'm not going to get you in trouble. I don't want to do that. It's exciting. Your first game's in 10 days. You play Germany. Are you guys
Yeah,
ready? How long have you been together? You're practicing. Do you know lines? Are you with my buddy Maxime Norol? I played with him for a little bit. The guy's an absolute dynamo out there. Like, what's
he
that been like
did.
trying
Yeah.
to get lines and forward groups and give us an insight on that?
Well, I played with Noro in junior together. We played.
Ah,
We we grew up together. So like I've known him forever.
No kidding.
And yeah, we played at the Spengler Cup together during the lockout and won that together. So it's fun to kind of be reunited. He went the last go around, and so it's nice to kind of pick his brain a little bit on everything that's going on. But we've been together for 7-8 days, and practices have been great. It's listen, it's guys that it's not in the NHL, but a lot of these guys I think could still play in the NHL, and it's again, it's all situational and where you end up and timing. You know that as well as anyone. It's just it's timing and being in the right spot and getting your opportunity. So, but they put together a great team of guys across Europe and guys that are playing in the AHL in North America. A lot of college kids too, and I like the way we've looked so far. The guys are hungry. Guys all have a chip on their shoulder. It's a lot for a lot of us. It's a redemption story. So it's fun to go over there and play and represent your country as well. It just gives you a little bit of added fuel. So
you mentioned college. How's that Owen Power? He's obviously number one pick, Buffalo. He's a stud. What's he like? Is he special, or is he just like a little Jason Demers in the making?
Yeah, no, he's special. Like, it's one of those guys where, these kids nowadays, I don't know where they learned all this stuff, but he's just, for a big man to move so as well as he does. It's amazing to watch him skate. He kind of floats out there for being, I didn't realize he was that big until I saw him off the ice and everything. Like he's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and he's a great kid. He stays on the ice probably an hour after we're all off, just playing around, and him and Kent Johnson and McTavish. And, I was like, God, did I do that when I was 20? Like, was I there an hour after? I was like, I don't know, maybe. I was like, maybe, but I wasn't doing the shit he's doing. Like, it's fun to watch, and he's a great kid too. So it's like, you can just see he's got the kind of the attitude and he's got the mindset, I think, that's going to take him a long way. So, and obviously he's young, he's going to learn. And, but this is going to be a great experience for him, and kind of, he's going to be a focal point of our decor, and any way we can kind of help him. There's a lot of veteran guys here that played NHL hockey games and that know the league. So, anything we can do to help him, we're definitely going to try, because he's a great kid.
Of course you are. You're a consummate professional. What? So Claude Julien.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
No, yeah, I'm just pumping your tire. You're definitely not professional, but you're consummate.
No, exactly.
So what's the deal? What's the deal with the coach? Julien gets hurt, and now you got Colleton coming in. Does that change everything, or just nothing, or is it just kind of, steady as she goes?
Yeah, steady as she goes. Because the plan was in place when they're all together, and it may be a different voice, but Claude was amazing, sending us a message, and the guys, we got him in our hearts, and it's a bummer he can't come with us. But
what meetings do you go to? You said you had the IT meetings. Do you got to do all the security checks because you're going? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just things we got to be aware of, and things that, like, when we're using when we're using phones and making sure we're communicating, like just like team apps and stuff like that. It's really like basic stuff that you do anytime you come together as a team, like especially for this tournament, just sort of like we're all on the same page with communication. But it's always like there's we're so many guys, and it's sometimes things don't work, and you're just making sure. And then it's just like getting a layout of the village and where we're heading, and it's like making sure we know that all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So it's just, and then it's a lot of team stuff, just making sure we're drilling the system, and we know what's going on.
Are you prepping for the other teams? Like, are you doing scouting? Like, you play Germany, you play the USA, you're not going to prep for China. Are you watching or like scouting? Like, okay, Germany, they're this and that. They got.
Well, I think we're definitely, when we get over there, this seems to be more focused, on us, and making sure our game is ready, and we're playing our way, and we're, we're not worried too much about that. And then once we get over there, I'm sure we're going to dive into all the teams, and once we get closer. But we're just working out the systems and making sure we're all on the same page, and we're all pushing in the right direction, as they say.
Could you ever believe you're going to be playing in the Olympics? Honest to God. Like,
hell no. I mean, I like to say yeah when I was a kid, but I mean, you kind of think at a certain point, especially playing, up until last year, I was a NHL defenseman. So, at that point, I'm like, I don't think they're knocking on my door to play the 5-6 role for Team Canada if all the NHL players are going.
oh, there's no
Um,
chance. No offense, but like,
no, it's none at all. I mean, it's a complete political game when it's the NHL, and I'm kidding. It's just
it's all
there's so many.
politics.
It's politics when it's in the NHL. No, there's so many great defensemen in the NHL, and I mean, listen, it's there's some guys that are there that they're studs, and I mean, it is what it is. You know where you are, your role, and that's how you get to hang around so long as when you know your role and you play your game. So, but I was glad to be considered for this, and it's part of redemption tour for myself. So I got to show a lot of people all over that I can still play. So.
Were you nagged by that back injury? Because that's not like a small surgery. Like, you must have known your back was out of whack for a while playing with Arizona the last few years.
It was more something that happened last year, and I didn't really see too much. And I mean, last year as a whole I won't get into that because it's a whole.
Because it was such a good year for you guys in Arizona. Like, it must have been just a blast playing down there. I've said it once, I'll say it again. You guys should have won the Stanley Cup. I know.
We were just, one piece away, maybe, as they say. So, no, I mean, I don't want to get into that. I mean, technically I could, but I'll probably wait till post tournament to come on and talk. But I mean, listen, it is what it is. There's as many horrible stories of guys' careers in the NHL ending and stuff like that. There's just as many great ones of guys having, just great luck and being taken care of greatly. So it's like, you can woe is me all you want and say, I got the short end of the stick, but it is what it is, and things happen, shit happens. And, I get to go to the Olympics now. So, I mean, for me, I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll take this is definitely a plus, and I never thought I'd be able to do this in my career. So to be able to check this off my list and is, maybe things happen for a reason. So, I mean, I'm just going to roll with it and keep grinding.
Is this the highlight? If you come out of here with the gold, would this be the highlight of the career so far?
I mean, yeah, 100% would be the highlight. And then we're going right in the KHL playoffs, and we have a good chance to win that. So, I mean, that could be just one hell of a year if we double it up. So
imagine if you won gold and then won KHL championships and you get picked up by an NHL team and win a Stanley Cup. Jason.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the timing.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know the timing, but yeah, I think NHL, I think the playoffs might be done by the time the KHL. But I mean, listen, well, one thing at a time here. So, I mean, no, I love our team, and it's kind of funny. I know guys say that all the time, but I mean, you've been on some good teams, in terms of like personalities. When you come into the locker room and everybody's, it's like we've been buddies for years. So that's like the number one thing to have when you're playing on a winning team, is to have that chemistry. And so we're going to take that, and guys are ready to go. And like I said, we got a chip on our shoulder. So it's going to be fun I think they're saying it's the first time we're going in as underdogs in a while. So, I mean, we'll take that and we'll whoop some ass.
Who's your D partner? Do you got that lined up yet?
I think right now I've been going with, he's my partner in Russia too, is Mark Barbadio.
He was there in Montreal when I was there. I don't think I played. I think I might have played. Gosh, I played with so many guys, Jason. All those guys might know me. I
mean, you're hard to miss.
Did you know when I left Arizona, I got offered a contract to go play in the Kunlun Dragons, and part of the deal was they would make me a Chinese, and I would have played in the Olympics, but my wife turned it down.
Buddy, the guys here, like when Kunlun's in Shanghai, like the guys that talk here, like they absolutely love it there. Like they say it was like awesome. Like
really,
you get treated like unbelievably, like just incredible. Like I know Brandon Yip's been there for a while, and the guys say I know some guys here that played there or knew somebody that played there, and all the guys loved it there.
Yeah, they offered me a big dollar deal, like way more than I made the NHL. And my wife was like, "There's too much pollution in China. I don't want to go." So
I mean, have you seen the pollution in LA?
I have. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't want me playing with the LA Kings. She turned that deal down too.
I like that though. Eco-friendly. I like that.
No, she just doesn't like China for whatever reason. I don't know. But that's exciting. Listen, well, let's get you. I don't want to keep you. Got your food. What are we having for dinner? What is Team Canada serving up for you tonight?
Oh, I mean, we don't miss a meal here, so it's great. They constantly keeping us fed. I just threw in a little extra, just the water and a salad. Keep the body tight.
Daddy's got to stay light. You know what I mean? The Olympics are coming up.
The hips got to keep popping. That's for
all
sure.
Right, man. Well, listen, can we get you on when the Olympics start? Maybe have a couple, like a check-in with Jason Demers.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be when we get there. Like I'm anxious to see. We'll probably have some more IT checks if we're allowed to do outside media. I might throw you through the hoops again.
That's all right.
Definitely right when I'm done, I'll give you a call and do a big recap and all that for you.
Do you know like what village you're staying in? If you're going to be with other sports, or you're just Team Canada, how they're going to quarantine that off?
No, we're in a big village, but I mean, it's like the main thing is just like getting everybody there and getting everybody negative inside the village, and then once you're in there, it's like everybody's on the same page. So it's kind of like the bubble in the playoffs.
Who are you looking forward to mingling with?
I mean, we're gonna be probably with the guys most of the time. I mean, they're gonna. I'm hoping to be able to go watch some other sports, and if that's allowed, I think after a few days potentially. But I'd love to go watch a few other sports and watch the women's hockey, see them win, and play some hockey. I think it'd be fun, and I mean, there's so many cool events out there. So if it allows it and we have the time, I heard that's just great to see.
Yeah,
live, those boys throw the rock.
It's unbelievable. I wish I was going with you, Jason. I honestly don't get jealous much. I'm a little jealous of you. That's so cool. You're gonna have a jersey with your name on the back and Team Canada on the front. Like that's
you'd have been in Kunlun. You'd have had your poster everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I would have been like Godzilla over there. They would have loved me. It would have been insane.
Yeah, you would have been. That would have been unreal for you to play over there.
Maybe in 4 years. Maybe in 4 years if they ever go back. But all right, buddy, I don't want to keep you. Let's be in touch. Good luck with everything, my friend.
Right,
thanks for jumping on. Good luck tomorrow. You play Sweden tomorrow or like a club team? Switzerland. I'm so bad with geography. They got any NHL guys on their team?
I think they got some ex guys there. I don't know the lineup per se. I don't know what's gonna come of it, but I think Rafael Diaz is there, and a lot of the guys that play out in the Swiss league. I mean, they're always fast and shifty, and they work hard. But
you know if Yager's playing for the Czech Republic?
I don't think he made that squad.
He didn't make the cut.
He might not have. You might own the team now, and he's probably coaching. But
I heard he was. Someone told me he was.
He's probably some way involved. I'm sure of it.
All right, Jason. Well, listen, I'll try to connect with you during the Olympics. If not, we'll talk to you afterwards. Thanks for jumping on, my friend.
All right, buddy. All the best to the family. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, Jason. Good luck, man. Stay healthy.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.